And there was a new segment of this that I had. It was called Predictions. You're a teenager. You experience creating something out of nothing. What exactly is in store for Gary and Wyatt after this situation? Yeah, they have girlfriends now, but I mean, like the fact that people or those guys, Robert Downey Jr. and the other guy, know that they are able to create an actual human being.
Well, okay.
What happens to them?
So those goons wouldn't keep their mouth shut about this.
Obviously, yeah, exactly.
So my thinking is that they flap their lips too much, and then one of the alphabet organizations, went and recruited Gary and Wyatt for the tech that we don't know about that the government has.
Yeah, so you think they became government agents or something, like government officials?
Yeah, something black ops, black budget.
Wyatt for sure is working at like NORAD or something, right? He's got like,
and then RDJ and that other dickhead became like congressman or whatever, and they positioned themselves on the committees to allocate the black budget.
So Lisa is in the movie,
and they dumped those two girls, by the way.
Oh, really?
They got rid of them after high school. Like that was it for them. They're moving up.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the fucking alphabet organization that got Gary and Wyatt, they probably black bagged them and threw them in the back of a van and then forged letters, because this still would be, the 1980s, or held them at gunpoint and had them like break up with them over the phone or something like that, just so, or fake their deaths.
That's probably what it was, right?
And they're working in an underground
bunker. You're making a fucking like side movie to this.
I'm making a good movie here, guys. Weird Science 2 could happen.
Wyatt and Gary had way too much power. I mean, they created a human fucking being. Who's to say they couldn't create like super soldiers or something just by feeding the computer?
Yeah, and then
nonsense,
Oh, here's the plot of Weird Science 2. So all of this in line, but they have to figure out a way to capture Lisa. So then that way they could use Lisa as a fucking, super assassin spy thing or whatever.
Right. Because she doesn't just disappear. She just transfers over.
She just leaves. Like it makes it seem like she disappears, but in the end, fucking.
Yeah. So if,
or something, right?
So assuming my plot doesn't work out, I think that the future for Lisa is she becomes like a mentor. Like every group of kids, she finds like the 2 or 3 dorks that need the Lisa treatment to kind of find themselves and find their way in the world. And she makes that her mission.
And on top of that, I would agree with you, Daniel, with that. For sure, that last portion, because like when she's as a gym, we see her as a gym teacher at the end of the movie. Like that whole line of dudes looks like a bunch of fucking geeks that need her assistance.
So
yeah, I mean they all fainted. You know?
Oh right. She tells them to drop and give her 10 or 20 or something like that.
And then half of those guys ended up dying in Desert Storm because they got inspired by Lisa.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, go do that. As I was just thinking though that like at the end of the movie, she probably just did what Lisa probably did what she did originally to Gary's parents, right?
Just make them forget.
Yeah, she fucked with their memories somehow, and made the dad, who's a prick, completely forget that he has a son.
Yeah.
And the mom is like just.
And also speaking of
parents suck.
The grandparents,
they're also assholes.
The parents come home. The grandparents are still in that fucking closet.
Sure.
Okay. So if Lisa was able to make the biker gang just pop in with all of their knowledge about Gary and Wyatt and shit right outside the house, what's to say that in her, fixing process that she just didn't teleport them back to their fucking residence?
Yeah.
And
just make them forget too, whatever fucking happened.
Yeah.
If they're real people, then sure.
I mean, because I mean, whenever she disappears, the whole the missile disappears, all the destruction to the house goes back to normal.
What else?
Well, that's basically it. But everything gets cleaned up after she disappears. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it never happened, except it
never
got laid.
happened. Yeah.
So Queen.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, if say you were Gary or Wyatt, and you created this crazy hot, awesome, fucking omnipotent, all powerful sex fucking goddess. Are you still gonna go after some high school chicks? Like,
Well, there's only one Lisa. There's gonna create some kind of problems between high school boys and this one hot girl.
It didn't seem to. She was telling everybody she was both of their girlfriends through the movie, wasn't she?
That's true, but none of them had fucked her yet.
No.
Yeah, but that whole thing is supposed to also make them, seem cooler, so maybe it would inspire more interactions and, from the party goers writ large to.
I know that she's presented as like basically a sex doll, but that she actually takes the role of a mentor for them and just basically fucking guides them into their first vaginas kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, in this scenario, they couldn't even get naked with her in the shower.
Yeah,
they're not getting naked with their friends, so that's weird enough as it is, right?
Yeah.
But Wyatt will shit right in front of Gary.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes when they open the door and the two chicks are there and they're like, can we come in? Gary took a Gary took a shit.
Yeah.
Because it stinks.
Yeah, he has like the fucking match.
Yeah.
He's got, the matchbook is like the whole matchbook's on fire. Yeah.
The whole fucking thing. Like, yeah. Why takes a shit and then blames it on Gary?
She asked him, she's like, what are y'all doing in there? And he's like, Gary's just in here taking a shit. He closes the door, fucking smacks
the door. Yeah, you just see him slap him. And he goes right back to opening the door. Like, yeah, I love that shit. There are a lot of these cool little hilarious fucking camera shots.